Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's time to call this regular meeting of the San Felipe Del Oro CISD Board of Trustees, the day being Monday, August the 18th, 2025. Mr. Secretary, would you call roll first?
Yes, sir. Mrs. Rebecca Luna Chavez.
Present.
Mr. Alvarez.
Here.
Mr. Overfelt.
Present.
Mr. Mesa.
Here,
Mrs. Webb.
Present.
Ms. Haynes.
not here.
Sir, you do have a quorum.
Thank you so much. Let the record show that we do have a quorum of board members, and that this meeting was duly called in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. At this time, we will have opening ceremonies, first with a moment of silence for personal reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. First item we have on our agenda is recognitions. Item A, the Holsworth Center Certificate of Completion of 20 Hours of Texas School Board Institute. Dr. Rios?
Mr. Mesa, members of the board, the Board of Trustees undergoes training that's prescribed by Texas Education Agency, but board members often go above and beyond. This last summer, Mr. Jesus Emilio Galindo and Ms. Amy Haynes attended the Holsworth Center in Austin. They gave up a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday to undergo some very intense training. It was great training, and there is a certificate for you to present to them, sir. Unfortunately, Ms. Haynes isn't here, but there's Mr. Galindo's here. We'll take a picture in front.
I want to say thank you, Mr. Galindo, and Amy, she's not here, but to give up a weekend in the summer, that's pretty brave of you. Thank you so much for, again, attending that training that is highly recommended for everyone. I think all of us had a busy schedule that weekend, so really appreciate both of you going. Thank you again. Item B, on recognitions, we have San Felipe Del Oro CISD awarded the 2025 Texas Arts and Education Association District of Distinction. Jane Villarreal.
Good evening, Board President Mesa, Dr. Rios, members of the board. It is a complete honor to announce that our district has been awarded the Texas Art Education Association District of Distinction. Congratulations. Over 1,200 districts were eligible to apply for this TAEA Visual Arts Award, and only 109 total districts received this outstanding award for the 24-25 school year. The Visual Arts Administrators of Texas recognizes districts with outstanding leadership in promoting the arts in their district and community. San Felipe Del Rio CISD's Visual Arts program met or exceeded a rigorous 14-point rubric. The rubric examines a district's visual art program from participation in TAEA's membership, exhibitions, contests, and community engagement in the visual arts field. Also through field experiences, community service, and collaboration with other content areas. Our teachers, we are very impressed and proud of your level of participation in the visual art learning experiences for all grade levels. Tonight's honorees include art teachers from the 24-25 school year. As I call their names, Ms. Vanessa Martinez, our Fine Arts Coordinator, will present them a certificate of achievement. Tonight's honorees include Lucy Van Gotham, Domenica Bowman, Marisela Maldonado, Cynthia Martinez, Perla Vallejo, Amanda Arredondo, Erica Hernandez, she's not here tonight, Lily Gomez, Catherine Calvetti, Ashley Trevino, and she is not here, Sherry Vela. And also with us tonight, we'd like to introduce our new 25-26 teachers who will work hard to maintain this distinction. We have Joanne Baca, Maria Carmen Vasquez, Jacqueline Vasquez, and Ricardo Peña. Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Congratulations. Once again, congratulations. Thank you.
Go backwards. That's okay. Thank you for everything.
Once again, congratulations to all of you for a job well done. And we welcome the new people that have come on board so you can get right on track following them as well. Hope you have a wonderful year. Next item we have is item C, Roberto Bobby Barrera Blue Ribbon Lighthouse Recognition. Ms. Aurora Guerra.
Good evening, Dr. Rios, Mr. Mesa, and members of the School Board of Trustees for San Felipe del Rio CISD. This evening, I'm proud to share that Roberto Bobby Barrera Elementary STEM School has achieved Lighthouse status through the Blue Ribbon Schools of Excellence program. It is a national recognition that highlights a strong commitment to excellence in teaching, learning, and leadership in both public and private schools around the nation. This is a designation that will remain with our school for 5 years, at which time the school can reapply. This Blue Ribbon of Excellence is a nationally recognized organization that evaluates schools using research-based best practices, and it supports the school's continuous improvement through a data-driven framework. Unlike the National Blue Ribbon Schools program, this is a separate but independent award from a nonprofit organization, but equally prestigious within the educational community around the nation. Switch slides here. There are several indicators of success, and one of them being, there are three levels of recognition. I don't know if you can see them from here. There's 3 levels of recognition. It is the points of light, the beacon, and the lighthouse. The lighthouse status is the highest level of recognition given by the Blue Ribbon Schools of Excellence. It means that RBB has not only met, but exceeded rigorous standards in 9 critical areas of school performance. These are the 9 areas of school performance on which we were evaluated: student focus and support, school organization and culture, challenging standards and curriculum, active teaching and learning, technology integration, professional community, leadership and educational vitality, school, family, and community partnerships, and indicators of success. This is what you see now is the award and the level that RBB was able to achieve. It needed to have 80% in each category to pass, and it had to meet all of the critical elements. So they're kind of hard to read, but I'll let you know that under student focus and support, RBB was able to get 100%, in school organization and culture, 95%, in challenging standards and curriculum, 90%, in active teaching and learning, 91%, in technology integration, 100%, in the professional community, 91%, in leadership and educational vitality, 100%, and in school and family community partnerships, 91%, and the indicators of success, 100%. All of them above 90%. So we're very, very thrilled to be presenting that to you tonight. I want to let you know that all of these indicators of success came from the framework that we're using here at San Felipe del Rio. The leadership that we as principals are using across the district, our data walls, our curriculum and instruction, our teacher input on surveys, our clubs, our programs. For RBB, these were essential. Also, our walkthroughs, our coaching, our levels of platform and performance that the students are engaged with in the classroom, our documenting of what we achieve, what we celebrate, how we build community across our class dojo. All of those were submitted as evidence and proof that we have those indicators. Our Bell Leadership training, the framework that we were allowed to work with within the Blue Ribbon schools. And again, any of the trainings that we achieved while we were learning things last year and the years before with students and being able to serve the military child with our Purple Star, those initiatives that we use to build support for our specific community of students. Just giving proof of, like I said, Purple Star and everything that supports our Purple Star and our military children, anything that supports our special needs children, anything that our teachers did to reach out and bridge gaps and make sure that our students were learning. All of these were presented and used as our own success indicators. The biggest achievement has been that RBB has been an A-rated campus since it opened. And so that growth and that accountability and that indicator of success were crucial. Again, all of this presented because we have the support from our district. We have amazing teachers that have used every element of our school to support them. And we have an outstanding community with Laughlin Air Force Base, our school liaison, our curriculum and instruction program, and our special ed working together. So all of these things, being able to present these as an artifact to show that our school can make that bridge and make those connections. So the recognition that we receive with the Blue Ribbon Schools of Excellence validates the hard work of our district, our teachers, all of our staff, our students, our Laughlin families, our Del Rio families, and the community. And this has been going on since 2018. It puts us on the map as a model school, not just locally, but nationally. And for me, it has been an honor to highlight the work of this community. This recognition also opens doors for future grants, partnerships, and professional development opportunities that could benefit our school and our district. According to April Stansbury from the Blue Ribbon Schools of Excellence, we are currently the only school in Texas to be announced this year. Blue Ribbon Schools is also working with several schools in the Southwest, including Sheldon, Dallas, and community independent school districts, which may also be on that same path. If you don't mind, I would like my staff to stand that are here. I would also like to see Mr. Roberto Bobby Barrera, whose presence is here, to please stand. because without the support of the teachers, without an amazing, inspirational person like Mr. Bobby Barrera himself to still be here, having been an educator in these schools, having been a board member, and still giving back to the military community. I would like our military community to go ahead and stand as well. And supporting our military community across the nation. This is a very, very special and beautiful recognition. So we, the team, not myself, but the team at Roberto Bobby Barrera, are honored to receive this Lighthouse designation, and we will remain committed to lighting the way for continued innovation, equity, and academic excellence. And we truly, truly appreciate everyone's support. I appreciate the support of all of my principals back there who have helped me with leadership in public schools. Thank you so very much, and we're just honored. And thank you to Mr. Roberto Bobby Barrera for being present this evening. Thank you. Here's a highlight of the folks that make it happen. And these are the children that we serve. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Could we go ahead and bring everyone up to the
Yeah, I
center
was-
for
I
a
was gonna
photo?
get to
Thank you.
that. If we could have all of the staff from RBB come here to the front and spread out, and then if we could have Mr. Bobby Barrera, the wing commander, and the principal come to the front so that the board can make a presentation.
They're waiting for you over there.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Congratulations. Oh, my goodness. Good job.
Congratulations.
Great job. Congratulations. You made it.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations. Congratulations, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Agora.
What a wonderful recognition again. Thank you, staff, for being here in support. And thank you, our Laughlin community, for being here as well. Really appreciate this very high, recognition. Again, to be the only school in Texas right now, as far as I know. Thank you again for everything you do. We don't have anyone that signed up, citizens to be heard. So we'll go into reports. First item we have is item 8, elementary class counts. Sandra is not here, so Dr. Rios will do the report.
Good evening, Mr. Mesa, board members. We previously brought to y'all's attention that we, like every district, or like most districts in Texas, were experiencing teacher shortages, and we had to make a decision between increasing class counts or having uncertified teachers in the classroom, particularly for our elementary schools. Today, I'm happy to report that all of our elementary teachers are certified. However, the class counts are a little bit high, and we have a couple of options, and I want to discuss those with you today to have some discussion, and then based on the discussion, we'll decide how we move forward. Okay? So first, I want to remind all our viewers that there is a class size requirement for pre-kindergarten through 4th grade, and that's that we cannot enroll more than 22 students in a class. The limit, however, does not apply the last 12 weeks of school, and it certainly doesn't apply to 5th grade classes. However, if the district chooses, it may seek an exemption through the District of Innovation process by which we can forego the class counts. The other option is to submit waivers for the numerous classes. So what I want to give y'all today is just a view of all the classes in the district that have 1, 2, or 3 above the class limit. They're not all the classes, but I just want to make y'all aware of how many we do have, so that then we can quickly decide if we're just going to file the waivers or apply for a District of Innovation exemption where we can increase the class size, okay? I'll start out Buena Vista 3rd grade. It does have 3 classrooms with 1 student over the class size. Dr. Lonnie Green Kindergartner has 1 class over the class size. Dr. Lonnie Green 1st grade has 2 classes over the 22 class size. 2nd grade has 1 class that's over the class size. Ceniza Hills has 5 classes that have 1 student over the class size, and 1 has 2 students. Ceniza Hills 2nd grade also has 4 classes that are over the class size. I'll take this time to, I know you have the presentation above you, but I want to also share with you what the option looks like. Again, we have an option to apply for a waiver for each one of these classes. So for example, Ceniza Hills 3rd grade, and you're going to find that across the board on all of them, we have 3 classes that are above the class size. Each has 1 student more than what's allowed. Okay. If we were to increase the class size by applying for a District of Innovation exemption, there is no limit. We would set the limit at 25. And if you look at the last column on each one of the slides, that's the number of students that we could continue to increase the classes by. And we've done that for every single slide, and you have the presentation ahead of you. Again, the benefit is that the students would then have a certified teacher versus hiring creating a classroom and then having to hire a sub. Okay. Ceniza Hills 4th grade has 1 classroom. Dr. Fermin Calderon also has one classroom that's over the class size. Most of them you're going to find that are one classroom, one student over the class size in one or more of the classrooms in that grade level. First grade, Fermin Calderon, one of the classrooms has 3 kids over the class size, and they're at 25. Fourth grade, Fermin Calderon has one classroom that's over the class size. Ruben Chavira, kindergartner, has one classroom that's 3 students over the class size and one that's over the class size. First grade, Ruben Chavira also has one classroom. Ruben Chavira, fourth grade, has one classroom, one student over. And then Lamar has 2 students, 2 classrooms that have 1 or 2 students over the class size. First grade, there's one classroom that's at 26. That's 4 students over the class size. And on that one, even if we applied for a District of Innovation waiver, even at 25, which would be a self-imposed limit, that would still put it at 1. So on that one, we very possibly are going to add a teacher. We are 1 teacher over at one of the campuses, so we could easily move somebody into that. But it's only 1 teacher that we have extra at the elementary. Fourth grade, Lamar, 2 classrooms. One has 1 and one has 2 over. So as you can see, across the district, we have numerous classes. Most of them are 1 student over the class size. It is not my recommendation that we create an additional classroom because, again, we would have to balance that classroom, and that would be a significant number of students that would not have a certified teacher. We can apply for the waivers, or we can apply for an exemption. In the recent meeting with the commissioner, he encouraged that we apply for a waiver under District of Innovation. Of course, he was applying it for 2 reasons. 1, if a district wanted to save money on personnel, and 2, if there weren't enough certified teachers. And for us, it's not that we're trying to save money. We have budgeted for all of these classrooms, but we do not have enough certified teachers. And I think that right now we're in a real good position by having a certified teacher in the classroom. The third option is obviously to hire somebody, but our recommendation is to seek another District of Innovation exemption. Are there any comments from the board, Mr. Mesa?
I'll ask the board members for questions. Mr. Almaraz.
Hey, Dr. Rios, I have first a comment. I mean, I think that's a big deal that we've got every one of our teachers in the classroom right now that's certified. That's amazing to say that, and to be able to count on certified teachers. Not saying an uncertified teacher isn't available, but I think that's a pretty big deal. So kudos to all the teachers that have now been certified. My question: the District of Innovation, first the waiver. The waiver is obviously for the 25-26 school year, right?
Yes, sir.
And the District of Innovation exemption would be for how long?
For 5 years.
It's a 5-year. Okay, so we don't have to apply for that again.
Correct, not for 5 years.
Okay, thank you.
And the waivers are submitted after the 30th class day for any classroom that exceeds the 22-to-1 in pre-K through 4th grade.
Did you have any more questions? No. I have one, and I think I've mentioned this before, that we don't have the number here of special needs. And that's a big indicator, especially if they're over by a whole lot. I don't have that number here of special needs students. Sometimes, for whatever reason, they end up, with one teacher having 4 or 5 and somebody have, maybe 1. So it's hard to see that we have the regular and the bilingual, but I don't have the special needs.
Mr. Mesa, the students that are in a unit are not included
No.
in this.
No, they're receiving services.
Okay, just the students that are identified under a program and are receiving services. We can get the numbers to see how they're distributed, but I will tell you that all of our principals go through great lengths to make sure that the students are evenly distributed so that not one teacher is tasked with a whole lot of advanced and advanced high bilingual students and students serviced by other departments. But we can certainly put a report together and share it with you all in a board update or bring it back here if you would like.
I'm just concerned with that area because I know in secondary, I think a lot of us work in secondary, and we ended up with classes that had maybe 5 or 6 special needs, and takes away from the teacher because either they do leave during instructional time, or there's behavior issues, and so it takes away from the other students. But if we could have that information, I think it would help us to make a decision. I understand everything else.
Yes, sir. I will. I'll work on that report and then provide it to you all via board update. And if you would like for me to come back and report at the next board meeting, but I'll certainly get it to you before the next board meeting via a board update.
So we still would have meet that 30-day time limit for waivers?
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely.
But I want to make sure everybody has a chance to ask questions. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Okay, Rebecca Chavez.
My concern, Dr. Rios, is the bilingual, whereas, it is best for a bilingual class in the way I see it is to have just the limit if possible. And I see here Fermin Calderon, first grade, has 25 already. Would that, stay at that, let's say, or would it increase if we went through the innovation?
Well, if you notice the numbers that we set for the District of Innovation, we tried, or we agreed that we would try to only limit those to 22 if possible. But what our principals have been doing, and we've been talking to them since we started planning the master schedule, is that where you are going to have a large number of bilingual students, to make sure that there is an aide dedicated. Because you have, let's say you have 2 bilingual aides per classroom, and let's just say that the 3rd grade classroom is balanced out, but you have a large number in 4th and 5th grade, then as much as possible that they dedicate the aides in those classrooms. Today, a principal shared with me that they had flipped the English instruction, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, reading ELA, so that the aide could be in that classroom at that time. Whereas most of the classes try to maintain the same schedule. They teach English at a certain time, math, social studies, etc. In this case, they have flipped it so that the aide could be with each teacher that half day when they were teaching reading. So the principals do as much as they can to balance it, and they know that where there is a large number of bilingual students, the aide is pretty much dedicated to that classroom during the reading instruction.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Linda Webb?
Sir, my question also refers to bilingual ed. How many of our students that are denials are in regular classrooms? And are those classrooms also balanced out, or are they just placed in the classrooms?
The denials are not placed in the bilingual classroom, they're in the regular, but you do not have 15 kids per grade level at any one campus where they would be overwhelmed. You might have 2 or 3 per grade level at most.
Okay.
That would be denials. Those are very number, and that number also we can provide in a report. I don't want to put Karen on the spot right now, but I'm sure she has that number readily available.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Mr. Alindo?
Dr. Rose, if you could just maybe explain, how could vacancies maybe also assist with this? As I'm looking right now, we have about 9 teacher openings. Some of them are kindergarten in areas that they are full, like Dr. Fermin Calderon, say, is for one. If you were to hire a teacher that's certified, how would y'all balance that out? Or can you give an explanation with the vacancies that are available?
Sure. If there's a vacancy to be hired, we will absolutely hire them. That is the first thing we want to do. Again, because you have budgeted for all these positions. What we have to do at that point is, and it's almost by default, the principal that finds a teacher that's certified, they're going to make that recommendation, and we're going to place them at their campus. Now, if we have somebody that comes to us and says, hey, I'm looking for a job, I'm certified, well, then we will more than likely place them first at the campus that has the largest number of rooms in that grade level that are above the 22-to-1. And if there's even, then we would definitely put them at the campus that has the greatest need for academic growth.
Anyone else?
So I want to reiterate, Mr. Mesa, I'm sorry if I can. I want to reiterate that this is not a cost-cutting measure. You have budgeted to fill all these positions, but we do not want to fill them with long-term subs or temporary teachers. We want to fill them with certified teachers. And in the absence of a certified teacher, well, then we're either going to apply for a waiver or apply for a District of Innovation exemption. It's my recommendation that we apply for a District of Innovation exemption, okay?
And I think all of us understand, there's a shortage of teachers, and very few people are going into the profession, because of so many things, especially when COVID hit. We lost a lot of our experienced teachers, and we understand all that. There's been a study by the governor, and sure enough, they're not going into the profession, but we're so glad that we have certified teachers, though. So we'll take it up for discussion.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next report that we have is item B under 8, Facilities and Construction Update. Hector Chapa.
Good evening, Mr. Mesa, Dr. Rios, members of the board. Tonight's presentation will provide an update on the Cody Wardlaw Gym renovation, the fencing at San Felipe Memorial Middle School in Cody Wardlaw, and the middle school practice fields. I'm happy to announce that the completion of the project, the Cody Wardlaw renovation project, today the final building inspection was obtained and passed. Here's a view of the interior of the gym looking to the north. The floor looking towards the east. I apologize, the logos do not appear that well from the vantage point, but we were limited on access to the floor. The floor still received the second coat of lacquer Sunday afternoon, so we weren't allowed to be out there too long. Exterior view looking west. The boys' restroom. Moving on to the fence project, San Felipe Memorial Middle School, the fencing has been completed. The contractor is working here locally on the Cody portion. They've set up everything was per the plans, except the gates. They moved back to the shop so they can create the gates. They're scheduled to be back on Wednesday to complete installation. Later on the agenda, there's a proposed change order to relocate some of the fencing that was not utilized at Memorial Middle School and deployed here in Garfield. The practice fields, the picture on the left is at San Felipe Memorial Middle School. The contractor's in the process of installing the select backfill. The picture on the right is here at Garfield. They're doing the excavation as well as the drain system installation. Moving on to the work orders, maintenance work orders. Previous 90 days, 983 work orders were created, 746 were closed, completion rate of 76%. On the 0 to 15 days, completion rate of 65% closure. 60 to 30 days, 79%. 31 to 60 days, 70%, and 61 to 90 days, 91%. The maintenance department has been working on two major projects during the summer. One was the Garfield Middle School renovation and athletics area, as well as partly working at Cody. For that reason, the work order suffered slightly, but the department's back on to try to get back up to pace to 90% completion rate. Technology Department, the previous 90 days, 3,290 work orders were created, 97%, well, 3,195 were closed for a 97% completion rate. 0 to 15 days, 96%. 16 to 30 days, 98% rate. 31 to 60 days, 98% rate. And 61 to 90 days, 97% rate. Transportation Department, the previous 90 days, 138 tickets were created, 131 were closed for a rate of 95% completion. 0 to 15 days, 100%. 16 to 30 days, 82%. 31 to 60 days, 96%. And 61 to 90 days, 96%. This concludes the presentation. Are there any questions?
Questions from board members? I'm so glad to see the numbers in the 90s, especially technology. I don't know if Mr. Salinas is here. Yes, she is. I wonder, on all the upgrades that we had in technology, were there any glitches in regard to any upgrades that we do during the summer? And if all labs, computer labs are up and running?
Yes, no, there was no any no updates or glitches, anything in the system we had. Labs should be good to go, and as I know, we removed some of the labs for the classroom expansions, but everything's been going good. So Chromebook carts are out and running to all the classrooms, and go from there.
So everything is up and running, no
Yes.
glitches?
No, sir, no glitches, no nothing right now. So,
Great.
but yeah.
What about some of the cabling that has been done along Garita for,
No, everything's all
Denisa?
good. Yep, cabling, everything, fiber, everything's good to go. So nothing's been reported. So.
okay, wonderful. Anyone else? We're all good? Dr. Rios?
Mr. Mesa, members of the board, this is the last time that we'll report on Cody Warlaw because it's now complete. And I know it's been a long process in summer, but because it's the last time that we'll report on it, I want to personally thank and congratulate Mr. Hector Chapa because he managed this project as a general contractor, and in the process, he saved about $2.4 million. Otherwise, the project would not have done. So thank you, sir, and congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad you don't have to drive across town to supervise all the workers that are there.
Yeah, that next project you'll have to do.
Okay, next item we have is a consent agenda. Again, one action will approve all items on the consent agenda. As far as donations, Dr. Rios, they'll be posted on the social media. I just want to thank all the individuals, organizations that donated towards the school. I know there's a lot of people that donate a big amount of money, and we appreciate everything, all the support from businesses and community members and organizations out there. There's a couple of meetings that we had. There were minutes posted. If there's any corrections to the minutes, there's a lot of purchase orders. Any questions on any item on the consent agenda?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Overfeld.
G2?
G2. Consideration to approve a contract over $5,000 with Steamport Leadership Coaching in the amount not to exceed $88,552. Funding source, Fund 255, Title II, and Part A, Teacher and Principal Training to support principals through ongoing coaching sessions.
Just the question, I guess, is this is just a continuation of what we were doing last year, right? The same program we were running, and we're just re-upping for.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Okay. I just wanted to
Anyone else?
clarify.
Thank you, Mr. Overfeld.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? We're good. Okay, then, if no further questions, I'll entertain a motion. There's a motion from Mr. Galindo. Is there a second? Mr. Overfeld, seconded. All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, we're going to move one item to the top, and 13A, Business and Finance, consideration to take appropriate action on the request to enter a resolution to authorize the public sale of certain real property previously struck off to the taxing authorities pursuant to Section 3401C of the Texas Property Tax Code for delinquent or valorem taxes assessed to said properties. Amy Childress.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. We have with us this evening Ms. Sonia Gonzalez with the law firm of Lineberger, Gargan, Blair, and Sampson to present some resolutions for two properties that they would like to put up for public sale.
Welcome, Sonia.
Thank you, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, members of the board. I'm here, as you all may recall, we've been working on getting these struck-off properties back on the roll. So we've worked from reducing the minimum bid amounts. The city's been waiving code compliance liens on certain properties. So now these are two bids we've received, and we're required by law because it is below the minimum bid amount to bring it before this governing body. One of the properties, I'm going to refer to cause number 33440. We've received a minimum bid amount of $874 to cover court costs. Okay, the minimum bid on that is $8,000. Again, this property's been off the roll since 2018. So somebody's just tendered the basic minimum amount to cover the court costs, and then they will take over payment of taxes as well as cleaning it up. Now, this particular bidder is the county. My understanding in meeting with them is that this was something they wanted to, I guess, designate as park space. This was a while back. I don't know if that's still the intention, but I do know that they are interested in taking over this property in order to get it cleaned up and do whatever it's necessary at this point. And again, it's up to the discretion of the board at this time to accept that bid. And I don't know if you want me to jump to the second one as well, just to give you a briefing on that.
Let me ask the board if there's any questions.
What's the address on that property?
The address?
There's no physical address. What we have, it's the Vega Verde Estates. We have a Block H. It's two accounts. They have to be sold together. And again, the appraised value of each respective account is $8,000, and that's only because the struck-off is over that amount. But by law, whenever the value is less, that has to be the minimum bid, essentially. So at this point, no one has bid on this since 2018. Total taxes due at this point are $8,400. Again, the amount of the bid covers district clerk court costs only.
So 8,000 something, or the value is 8,000 something for each piece, 16,000 something total.
Correct.
County wants us to strike it for $800
$874 total.
to build a park on Vega Verde, on River Road, or whatever that is back there.
And again, that was their intent back, I want to say this came before about 2 years
Yeah,
ago, right?
I remember it.
Yes.
It came before, and
But I know they're still interested in acquiring the property.
okay.
Anyone else? You're okay, Mr. Orfo?
I'm just trying to remember what we did 2 years ago. Obviously, if it's come back, we probably turned it down 2 years ago. So I'm just trying to remember. I'd have to go try and find the minutes, but yeah.
I'm going to the other.
Go on to the other one, sir.
Do you want to go on to the next one?
Sure. Next property is on cause number 29721. This particular property, we do have a bid in the amount of $1,000. This has been struck off and off the roll since 2016. There's an individual here that's a prospective buyer. This particular property was approved for reduction from the original minimum bid, and the city also agreed to waive code compliance liens on it. So currently, it was struck off for $11,550. The lower bid, that amount that it was reduced to is $5,000. We took it to a public resale after that, no bids. We did that in 2023, and we just received this bid for $1,000. And again, in looking at the disbursement breakdown, the $1,000 will simply be sufficient to cover the court costs. So again, this project itself is not a revenue generating deal, right? This is to get these properties back on the roll. And again, because it is an amount that's lower than the minimum bid, we are required to bring it before this governing body for consideration.
Any questions from board members? Hearing none.
I have a clarifying question, Mr. President.
Yes, Dr. Rios?
Ms. Gonzalez, if the board takes action, but the other entity doesn't take action to close the deal, does it expire after so many days?
No, it just remains off the roll. In order for it to be brought before the entities again, we would just need a request from a representative if we haven't received other bids. We are required to bring any bids, for that matter, on any of these struck-off properties before you, and that's why we're bringing these at this point. But let's say the school at this point decides not to act, we can take it to the city. They can consider it, they can approve. If they approve, we can bring it back. If they were to say no, all it takes is one entity to nix it, and it's done. We can't move forward.
But the reason I'm asking is because I don't recall that this, it has been at least 5 years.
Yeah.
That's how long that property has been off the tax rolls. And I don't recall the board turning it down. That's why I'm wondering if we approved it and they didn't move on it, and then they forgot about it and are asking again.
It wasn't approved, if I recall correctly, I'll need to go back. It was either tabled or it was rejected, because I do know we didn't take it to the city at that point.
Yeah, it was probably tabled. I would have remembered
I
if
have a
we
feeling it
rejected
was tabled. But again, we were contacted because we hadn't received, they wanted to know we had received any bids on it, and I guess they're still interested in acquiring this piece of property. And again, it would be up to them to clean it up and develop or use it for whatever means they intend to, but it now is their responsibility, and now school district, city are no longer liable for any incidences that may occur on those properties.
I think the one good thing about it, it would go back on the tax rolls and collect taxes on it.
If it's not
Yes.
exempt, if they're not utilizing it for a public purpose, yes, it just really, it's the designation and how they intend to put it to use.
And
But again, regardless, it's been sitting out since 2016, so nothing has been done on that particular.
I think
those
the
two
only
lots.
disadvantage is it only pays for the court costs, not the property itself. It's a
Yes.
small amount. So what is the wishes of the board? Anyone else?
I'm fine with striking it. Oh, I mean, whatever, we can strike it or table it, whatever.
Sure. Okay.
You want to read the recommendation, Amy?
I do want to mention one more thing. There were 3 bids originally in the packet. One of them we had to remove, we asked that you not consider, and that was a bid that was tendered by the city on another struck-off property. But after visiting with the city manager earlier today, I believe she wants to confer with her council before bringing it back. But I do anticipate, because that is a building they want to acquire, that we should be bringing it back, in the next couple of months. I just want to make note of that. So of the 3, there's really 2 that we're presenting on today.
So we'd only be if the motion goes through, we'd only be voting on 2 to strike, 1 that will be possibly coming back. Correct. Okay.
Anyone else? We're good. Amy, you want to read the recommendation?
Yes, sir. And this is for the two that were discussed. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees discuss and take possible action to enter a resolution approving the public sale of certain real properties previously struck off to the taxing authorities pursuant to Section 34.01C of the Texas Property Tax Code for delinquent ad valorem taxes assessed to said properties.
For the recommendations, or motion? Ms. Shortfeld? You move to go ahead and...
Move to go ahead.
sell.
Sell it, yeah.
And there's a second by Michelle Morales. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Going back to administration, item 10A, consideration to approve the first and final reading of TASB Localized Policy Manual Update 125, Part 1, affecting policies DBAA local, BDB local, BDF local, board resolutions for committees. Sandra is not here, so Dr. Rios.
So I'll read the recommendation. Mr. Mesa, members of the board, the policy committee met to review these policies. It was a good discussion, and we will move for a recommendation for first and final reading. Are there any questions before I read the recommendation, Mr. Mesa?
Any questions from board members? It goes through a committee, so we reviewed this quite a bit. I guess no questions, so you want to read the recommendation, Dr. Rios?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mesa. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the first and final reading of TASB Localized Policy Manual Update 125, Part 1, affecting policies BDAA local, BDB local, BDF local, and board resolutions for the committees.
Heard the recommendation from administration. There's a motion by Michelle Lindo, seconded by Linda Webb. All those in favor? Motion carries. Item 10B, consideration to approve the first and final reading of FNCE local student conduct, personal communication device, electronic devices. Dr. Rios.
Yes, Mr. Mesa, over the summer, the leadership team has reviewed the cell phone policy with principals, and it's now been incorporated into the student handbook. And we have reviewed this through flyers with our community and with the board. Are there any questions, Mr. Mesa?
Any question from board members? None, hearing none.
There's a recommendation that the Board of Trustees approve the first and final reading of policy FNCE, local student code of conduct, personal communication devices, and other electronic devices.
You've heard the recommendation from administration. There's a motion from Becky Chavez, seconded by Ms. Orfeld. All those in favor? Motion carries. Item 10C, consideration to approve the 2025 Student Code of Conduct. Dr. Rios.
As Mr. Mayor said, the student code of conduct was also reviewed in the policy committee. And all changes were discussed in the discussion led by Ms. Sandra Hernandez. Are there any specific questions to the student code of conduct?
Any questions, Mr. Orfeld?
No, sir.
I think there was one item that we kind of revised or recommended. I don't remember exactly.
I think Ms. Hernandez was going to check on it and to make sure we were on the right track, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to recall it.
Okay, I just want to make sure that, that side note that we have, I didn't bring my notes or anything in regard to that. But with that being said, I just,
It was the, what happens after 90 days with the phones?
yes. Communication devices, 90 days,
Yes, sir,
whether they're destroyed or returned or whatever.
the district's supposed to dispose of them, but we agreed that we would keep them longer in case anybody wanted to retrieve them at a later date.
Yes, we thought it was a little bit harsh to destroy them before we make another attempt to have them picked up Thank you, Ms. Orfeld, for reminding us.
Yes, sir.
Okay, with that stipulation, I guess we'll agree that you make another attempt to return those. Can make communication with the parents.
Mr. Mesa, I'll also mention that in regards to the discipline code of conduct, TASB released a guide that they asked for us to relate to parents, discussing the different type of consequences and the parents' rights. So that was distributed today. We asked Mr. Manuel Salinas to send it via the Skyward Messenger. And then Mr. Barrera asked the principals to also send it via the class dojo to ensure that as many parents as possible receive the communication. That should have been released today, district-wide, and no later than tomorrow by the campuses.
Okay.
Ready for the recommendation?
Do you want to, yes.
It is a recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the adoption of the 25-26 SFDR CISD Student Code of Conduct as presented.
For the recommendation, it's motion by Mr. Almaraz, seconded by Mrs. Webb. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Item 10D, consideration to approve a concussion oversight team for San Felipe Del Rey CISD. Frenchie McCray, Jr.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, members of the school board. Education Code 38.153, oversight of concussions by school districts and charter schools. The return to play protocol development by concussion oversight team requires every district to have a concussion oversight team who is responsible for developing the return to play protocol for athletes who are believed to have a concussion. The law requires that the team developing the return to play be school board approved. The function of the concussion oversight team is to establish the return to play protocol based on the peer-reviewed scientific evidence for a student's return to interscholastic athletics practice or competition following the force or impact believed to have caused a concussion. Each concussion oversight team must include at least one physician and to the greatest extent practicable, considering factors including the population of the metropolitan statistical area in which the school district student enrollment and the availability of and access to licensed healthcare professionals in the district area. Must also include one of the following: an athletic trainer, an advanced practice nurse, a neuropsychologist, or a physician assistant. If the school district employs an athletic trainer, the athletic trainer must be a member of the district's concussion oversight team. Each member of the concussion oversight team must have had training in evaluation, treatment, and oversight concussions at the time of the appointment or approval as the member of the team. The concussion oversight team will consist of the following, is recommended to consist of the following individuals: Antonio Cadena, Connis Beneke, Melissa Padilla-Limon, Brad Dixon, Alyssa Price, and Liana Escoreno. Do you have any questions?
Questions for Mr. McCray? No questions. Recommendation?
It is a recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the district's concussion oversight team as presented.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation. There's a motion by Mr. Galindo, seconded by Linda Webb. All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Going to the next item, technology and operations. Item 12A, consideration to approve a change order with Claw Contractors LLC in the amount not to exceed $50,368.54. Funding source, Fund 170 General Funds. Operations for the fencing project at San Felipe Memorial Middle School and Garfield Middle School. Mr. Chapa.
Good evening once again, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, members of the board. As previously mentioned, there are some surplus fencing materials that at San Felipe Memorial Middle School that were earmarked adjacent to the gymnasium. Since that area, we're not proceeding with that particular portion of it, administration would like to use that fencing to repurpose it at Garfield. However, there's approximately 500 linear feet of that material, of that fencing, and we need approximately 290 additional feet. For that reason, the change order. And that, not only the 290 feet of ornamental fence, but it also includes 3 vehicular gates, 2 the main gates and 1 that would give a maintenance access to the playground area, and 2 pedestrian gates also. The fence that would be placed at Garfield would be the front area, the west fence leading from Martin Street towards the building, and then back towards the building, and the missing portion that's pending here in the playground adjacent to Cody Warlock. That total amount is the $50,000 that administration is requesting.
Any questions from board members? You want to read the recommendation?
Yes, sir. It is recommendation of administration that the Board of Trustees approve the change order with Claw Contractors LLC in the amount not to exceed $50,368.54 for the additional fencing at Garfield Middle School.
For the recommendation, I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Almaraz, seconded by Linda Webb. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, sir. Item 14A, consideration to approve submission of TA applications for certification waivers. Amy Childress.
That's the one that we want to table till after closed session.
Oh, that's the one we want to table. We're going to deal with that one after we reconvene, okay?
Yes, there's one before that.
Still 13B. That's what we're going to do now.
Okay, 13B, consideration to approve a resolution designating the individual authorized to calculate the no new tax revenue rate, the voter approval tax rate, and other truth and taxation requirements for the district. Amy Childress.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. The Board of Trustees must designate an individual authorized to calculate the no new revenue tax rate, the voter approval tax rate, and other truth and taxation requirements. And administration is recommending that the board approve the resolution designating the district's chief financial officer to complete these.
Any questions for Amy Childress? You want to read the recommendation, please?
Yes, sir. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the resolution designating the individual authorized to calculate the no new revenue tax rate, the voter approval tax rate, and other truth and taxation requirements of the district.
For the recommendation, I'll entertain a motion. Ms. Rebecca Chavez, seconded by Ms. Rohrfeld. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
unanimously. Okay, we're going into closed session pursuant to Board Policy 551.074 and 551.071. If any action needs to be taken, it will be taken upon reconvening to open session. We're now in closed session. The time is 7:08 p.m. Reconvening to open session. The time is 8:29 p.m. No action was taken in executive. We're down to item 18A. Consideration to approve the personnel report to include the following: new hires, district vacancies, retirements, resignations. Amy Childress.
Good evening, President Mesa, Dr. Rios, and members of the board. It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Trustees approve the resignations, retirements, and vacancies discussed in closed session and the following new personnel: Amanda Flores, special education teacher at Irene Cardwell; Melanie Rodriguez, math teacher at Garfield Middle School; Jordan Esparza, science teacher at Del Rio Middle School; and Isaiah Lozano, physical education teacher at Dr. Fermin Calderon.
For the recommendation from administration, is there a motion made by Mrs. Webb, seconded by Mr. Almaraz? All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Item 18B, consideration to approve the position of behavior specialist. Amy Childress.
It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Trustees approve Laura Listener Ward for behavioral specialist with the Special Education Department.
For the recommendation, is there a motion for approval? Motion made by Becky Chavez, seconded by Ms. Rohrfeld. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item C, consideration to approve position of assistant principal at Dr. Lonnie Green Elementary.
It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Trustees approve Betsebe Encinas for assistant principal at Dr. Lonnie Green Elementary.
For the recommendation, is there a motion for approval? Michelle Maraz, second by Linda Webb. All those in favor? Motion carries. We're going to table item D, and we go on to item 14A, consideration to approve the submission of TEA application for certification waivers.
It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Trustees approve the submission of TEA applications for certification waivers as discussed in closed session.
For the recommendation, is there a motion for approval? Motion made by Michelle Maraz. Is there a second to the motion? Second by Mr. Galindo. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
There's no other items on the agenda. Is there a motion for adjournment? Mr. Orfeld, seconded by Mr. Galindo. All those in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you and good night, everyone.